Good morning. I'm in my lovely housecoat looking out over the lake today. Isn't she beautiful? It's a beautiful sunny day. And I thought I'm going to tell you a story. So, I've had lots of adventures since I started my life. And one of them was showing up on Burnaby Mountain when Kinder Morgan was drilling through the mountain illegally and sleeping under a tarp with total strangers for 8 nights while being surrounded by 200 plus RCMP with all their gear on. It was like really exciting and a real eye opener for me because RCMP, they're trained to lie. So after I'd done Burnaby Mountain, I came back and I started getting in the way on Shawnigan Lake. And in the springtime of 2015, when they had gotten their approval to do the pit, I would spend my mornings, me, Carolyn, and Suzanne and her dog, would spend the mornings in deck chairs right in front of the pit, recording every single company that went into the pit. And then I would have my people that were at home on computers and phones call those companies and tell them that they would never do business with them again because they were working with evil. Well, what ended up happening is people started pulling out contracts. They couldn't get a roof put on. At one point, they didn't have porta potties because the porta potty guy was afraid to come to the pit because of us three women having our morning coffee. So, on the second or third day, they called the cops on us because, we're dangerous sitting there in our deck chairs with our coffee. Carolyn would make muffins. Love her. Rest in peace, Carolyn. I miss you so much. And the cops showed up, and this big cop crawls out of his cop car, and I'm just like, I know you. You're on Burnaby Mountain with me. He goes, no. And I'd introduced myself as Sheila Bell-Irving. And he says, no, I wasn't on Burnaby Mountain, Sheila. And I said, no, you were. And I said, your name is Greg Pask. And I said, Pask is a very unusual last name. I remember that. You're 6'4" with red hair, freckles, and quite large. So you have a presence about you, and I remember you being on the mountain with me. Oh, no, he's insisting. No, he wasn't on the mountain with me. And I'm like, this is not a good way to start our relationship, Greg, by lying to me. I know you were on the mountain with me. Just tell me the truth. So he goes, okay, she mama. And I went, oh, I introduced myself as Sheila. So he says, okay, she mama, you're right. I was on Burnaby Mountain. And I said, I knew it. He says, but I was in the background. I said, well, so was I. And I said, so it's not a good way to start a relationship with me, Greg, by lying to me in the very beginning. Just be honest. You were there. 200 plus RCMP were pulled in from all over the province, all the way from Quebec at one point on Burnaby Mountain. So it's not good to start our relationship with lying. Greg and I have a past now. And I just wanted to say that this is their training. They don't tell you the truth. They go around it. They will obfuscate it. They will do whatever they can to make you confused, and so that you will say something that will incriminate you. So don't trust RCMP ever. They are not working for you. They are working for their owners, the government, the globalists. They also had a new rule brought in on Burnaby Mountain when we were up there. Stephen Harper made it illegal for them to refuse orders. If they refuse orders, they can be fired on the spot, no pension, nothing, and or put in jail. Think about that. They can be put in jail if they're ordered to shoot you and they don't. So, my moral of this story is don't believe the RCMP. They are not your friends. I'm sorry to tell this to you. Anyways, have a good day. Story time, RCMP.